What's good, my licky me? Welcome back to another lovely, beautiful, sexy, amazing video with the equally lovely, equally beautiful, equally sexy, and equally amazing lit Ty. You already know what time it is. Now let's go. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Now the F3 in the UK has come back after a long hiatus, and this time it seems to be between Aitch and Central Cee. And we're going to break the whole beef down in way more detail. But already know what you got to do. You just got to like, comment, subscribe, pop them, drop a banger like this one. And hit that note, because you ain't in it. You should be the first to know one of these videos comes out. And without further ado, let's get straight into it. Now, if you didn't already know, it looks like Aitch has finally pushed the red button on Central Cee and dropped a whole diss track on him. And you're probably wondering why, so let's break it down. Of course, on Friday, Central Cee dropped his highly anticipated Can't Rush Greatness album. Full review on that coming shortly. And on track 2 of the album, called 5 Star, Central Cee says, and I quote, "Felt like a prick when I went to the Brits and they gave the award to a guy called Aitch. I had my acceptance speech prepared like, long live Fs, I'm going insane." Now, if you didn't already know, this is in reference to the Brit Awards of 2023, where Aitch was given the award for best hip-hop / grime / drill / whatever nonsense name the Brits have given for that award these days, over Central Cee, even though Central Cee had the biggest rap song in the world that year with Doja. Now, of course, there's two ways that you can look at this statement. Some people are saying that it's not necessarily a diss, it's just a name call out, and that Central was more concerned with the fact that he didn't get to shout out his boy who passed away, unfortunately, because Aitch won the award. But then other people, myself included, have noticed that, you know, saying a guy called Aitch is kind of a way of like signaling a lack of respect. It's like, oh, who won? A guy called Aitch. Like, who's Aitch? He sounds like something wet. He sounds like a speng. Like, that's the way that I've into it. Maybe I'm reading into it a bit too much, I don't know, but saying a guy called Aitch, to me, that would sound like you don't rate the person that you're talking to. I'm just saying. And it seems like Aitch felt the same way, as in under 24 hours, he has dropped a Central Cee diss track titled A Guy Called ? We're gonna break it all down line by line. So first, Aitch says, influencers, they ain't contenders, jump in the booth for something to do, took the Brit straight back to the ends and a little bit of bush got put in a zoo, roll around with all of your helpers looking like elves, it's funny and true, you got more money than all of your elders, lucky for me, I'm younger than you, woo unks. So this is just Aitch starting off with little bits of jabs, you know, calling Central more of an influencer than an actual rapper, saying he's rolling with too many man. And then he says, lucky for me, I'm younger than you, and calls Central unks. So then I had to go and look up both of these gentlemen's ages, and Central Cee is 26 and Aitch is 25. So I'll be real, I'm not really sure why he tried to go with the unks angle. Like, very early a year younger than him. Like, you're not exactly a spring chicken yourself, mate. If it was X Factor, you both be on the over 25s, you know what I mean?
You know what I mean? Like, 100,000 for the cheapest ring on the nigga finger, little bitch.
Aitch then continues and says, we can go bar for bar, Brit for Brit, punch for punch. All your songs get wrote by Clint, in the booth, one mic to, well, I can't say that on YouTube. Get dissed off a guy named Oakley, wait 2 secs, let me light this blunt. Yeah, grab the mic, I dare you to come, I ain't scared of him, with his hair in a bun. So this is where the Central Cee ghostwriting rumors start to come into play, and he's trying to say that Clint is the one who writes his rhymes and calls them both, you know, CUNTs, which is obviously major disrespect. Of course, he references Central Cee's government name, which is Oakley Caesar Sue, and says he's not scared of a man with his hair in a bun, which is of course probably a reference to when Eminem said the same thing about Machine Gun Kelly when they were beefing way back when. Now, you guys know how I am. I like to keep things fair, so I did have to do some research and find Aitch's government name as well. And Aitch's full name is Harrison James Armstrong. I mean, that's not exactly the most threatening name either. I'm just being honest. Sounds like the guy who wrote the Biff, Chip and Kipper books, you know what I mean? But I'm not even, no disrespect. I'm just keeping it fair. Like, I'm just giving you guys the information and you can come to your own conclusions. And you know, of course, the first line is in reference to the band for band song, you know, we can go band for band, we can go bar for bar. Like, if you didn't get that, you're a moron. He's basically saying lyrically he can beat him. If they count the amount of Brit Awards, he can beat him, because I don't think Central Cee has a Brit yet. Aitch then continues and says, you ain't airing the gun, daddy's home now, just bear with me, son. Little boy's just there to be spun, getting mad at the Brits, there's bear to be won. I can't wait for your show on the ends. #1 fan, I'll be there till it's done. Now, this is where Aitch is starting to talk a little more spicy. You know, he's calling Central Cee his son, which is a bit ridiculous, and he's basically saying he can't wait for Central C to perform in Manchester because he's going to step to him afterwards and put him in a blender, essentially, which is, again, major disrespect. Aitch then starts to hit Central C where it hurts, as he says, "That ain't your flow, that's Kairo Keyz. Mentioning me, go ride on Reese. Chat about P, but you didn't pay Kenza. Props cause she won't let you slide in cheeks. I'll punch man's head off his neck, no problem. Tell him go find his teeth. Your manager's 40 and wearing a mask. Are you mad? I ain't trying to be like Ybeez." Ybeez, man. Ybeez, why are you catching strays, bro? Why are you catching strays, bro? I don't get it. Ybeez, don't have it, Ybeez. Nah, but I mean, well, it's still already beefing. Nah, Ybeez, don't have it, bro. But I can't lie, Aitch is actually cooking in this part. So first things first, if you don't know who Kairo Keyz is, he's a UK rapper who had quite a successful 2024 with his hit song Gang. He actually used to be boys with Central C. They used to operate as sort of an unofficial rap duo. And now the story allegedly, and I might not have all the details exactly correct, but I believe they were cool. And then once Day in the Life popped off, people were saying that he basically took Kairo Keyz' flow and like ran with it. And then Central C, like, they had a falling out. He cut him off or something like that, and they didn't speak anymore, and there was beef between them, and apparently their camps were fighting at Wireless in 2022, I believe it was, or 2023, I think it might have been 2022. So they're not cool anymore, and that's basically what Aitch is referencing. And I believe even Kairo Keyz put the screenshot of Aitch's diss track on his Instagram, basically co-signing it, like, yeah, Aitch, you're spitting, like, you slid on this. He also mentioned Reese, which is Digga D, and of course Sench and Digga D aren't cool either, so he's basically saying, why are you coming for me when you ain't slid on Digga D type. He also mentions the UK influencer Kenza, which, if you don't know, is in reference to a couple of months ago when Sench's ex called Madeline Argy tried to expose him after he was seen with Ice Spice in Selfridges. There was a whole situation going on there, and she basically tried to say how Central C was faking the interaction for views or something like that. And then Kenza jumped in the whole situation and claimed that the same thing that Central was trying to do with Madeline, he was trying to do with her. She said that Central C wanted to start a fake relationship with her to boost both of their profiles. And basically around 2020, 2021, people thought that they were dating because they were always seen together, and she was in the Obsessed With You video, and she was trying to say how she was never paid for the Obsessed With You video, which, to be honest, I don't really see why she would be paid for that, because she didn't really do anything in the video anyway. Like, it looked like it was filmed on a Toshiba laptop, mate. Like, all they did was wake up, get dressed, eat breakfast, go to the, I don't know, they went to like the gas station and they went to the Eiffel Tower or something like that. Like, I don't really see what she'd be getting paid for, I'll be so real. Did she edit the video afterwards or something? I don't know. Someone gotta let me know, bro.
I don't know.
So yeah, that's what he's referencing there. And she also said in the video that she didn't let Central C hit because of something that he said or something, which, yeah, I'm sure he didn't. Like, you know what I mean?
Cap.
He then disses Central C's manager called Ybeez and says, how can you be 40 and still wearing a mask? Now, again, Ybeez, I don't know why you're catching strays, my brother. I'm not a fan of the Ybeez slander, you know. Ybeez is a legend in the game. Aitch then continues and said, not wrote one verse since 022. Them ghostwriters made you a star. I can't lie though, it's making sense because we like your fit pics more than your bars. You built most of your career on image, not enough lyrics. Me, I'm just goated. You got 100 man on your payroll, stood at the Brits, and none of them voted. So Aitch is really doubling down on this whole ghostwriter idea. Now, do I think Central C has a ghostwriter?
I don't know.
I'm going to say probably not, to be honest. I mean, I wouldn't know for certain, but I just don't think so. To be honest, I don't think any of Central C's bars are that spectacular to the point where you would think that he didn't come up with it himself. You know what I mean? Like, there's no bars that he said that really stand out. I'm like, oh, damn, like, that's a bar. I mean, if he hired a ghostwriter and the best that they could come up with is my whip could have been in the Tokyo Drift because it's Fast and Furious, then, oh boy, he needs to fire that ghostwriter expeditiously.
Stop! Please stop, please.
You telling me you need a ghostwriter for, I told her my name is Sench, she said no, the one on your birth certificate. Ay. Now, he also mentions that Central C's got all these men on his payroll and none of them voted, which is in reference to the Brit Award that Aitch won in 2023 was actually a voted award. I believe that year, some of the awards, they let people, or they let the public vote online. So he's basically saying, how comes your man didn't vote? Which again, another stupid thing that the Brits is just so stupid, I won't lie. They just make a lot of stupid decisions. But that's another video for another day. And then, you know, he mentions building his career on image and not enough on lyrics. And I mean, Aitch, I can't let Aitch get all of this off, because Aitch is not exactly renowned as a spitter, you know what I mean? We don't really hear people saying, oh yeah, let's put on Aitch so we can hear some hard bars. Like, most of Aitch's biggest songs are pop rap songs, let's be real. So it's like, did Aitch build most of his career on lyrics in a way that like the likes of Dave has, or the likes of Stormzy has before he went commercial? Like, are we really saying Aitch was on that type of time? I think no. But I might be wrong. I'm usually not. But I might be wrong. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. But I don't think so. I think Aitch was leaned into that pop rap lane quite quickly, and he just stayed in that lane for quite a while. So I don't know. It's like he's throwing stones from a glass house. It's not making sense, bruv.
Yeah, that's true. Now let's go back to my nigga on the floor.
Aitch then continues and says, shame, stop phoning Cora, speaking my name, asking questions, did I look better than Aitch? No, stay in your lane. You're just mad because you can't beat me. For the past 6 years, I've been opening doors. Bringing the Brits up 2 years later. F my life, you should go live yours. Now, I'm not going to lie, that's a good flow there. I got to give Aitch's props for that. But of course, here he's referencing someone called Cora Delaney, who's the founder of EYC Limited, a popular brand consultancy firm that works with both Aitch and Central C. Apparently, this woman deals with like Louis Vuitton and Prada, and she's like one of those people who's proper up there in the fashion world. Now, again, do I think Central C's calling up this woman saying, do I look better than Aitch? I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, I'm really not trying to sound like a hater, and I'm trying to be completely impartial in this review, but it's like, is Aitch someone that we even look at and think that he's got drip? Like, every time I see Aitch, he's in a white tee and some joggers, bro. like, bro, I don't know, innit? Because I don't follow him on Instagram, so I don't know. Maybe he's dropping some fire fit pics on there. But every time I see Aitch, he's just wearing something cool, like something you just see that if you was just going to fill up gas in your car or something. Like, I didn't know he was like Manchester's next top model, like the way he's making himself out to be. But again, I could be wrong. You gotta let me know in the comments section if I'm out the loop. He also mentions he's been opening doors, which I can say, you know, he's one of the people who did lead the charge from rappers from areas other than London to be accepted on a wider scale. So I will give him his props for that. Aitch then continues and says, we both know that you're Aitch obsessed. I've been running since your entrance. Madeline ain't your ex. That's your cousin. The resemblance. You got Sloan looking like one auntie, and now Sench is shagging his family. Them Timberland boots won't save you. If I got Timbs on, I'm getting stampy. Which again, Madeline, Argy is Central C's ex, as I mentioned earlier, and people did used to say that they look alike, so that's kind of what he's referencing here. It's a bit of a bio, to be honest. He's basically saying Sench is like one of those rednecks that like, basically calling him Cletus from The Simpsons. You know what I mean? Aitch then continues and says, Clinton was pissed because Sench got beat by a white MC. Sench is as white as me. Been racist since like 013. Why did you hide them tweets? How can you post some racist shit then try to get people to buy your tea? Everyone watch who you're championing because that racist shit don't fly with me. You ain't broke, so why you still salty? So mad but you're rich and famous. Because I live rent-free in your head and I'm staying right here. I ain't worried about bailiffs. Award goes to a guy named what? You know what my name is. So firstly here, he's referencing a tweet from Clint, aka Clint419, where he says that, I believe Clint says something like, we all know who should have won that award or who that award belonged to. And Aitch is saying like, Clint is saying that because he sees Central C as part of black culture, whereas Aitch is saying, nah, he ain't one of you, he's one of us. In terms of the whole racist tweets thing, I mean, I think that I can't find any information about this online, but I believe that Central C might have posted some racist things on Twitter in the past, and those have all now been deleted, which it seems to be coming up about a lot of people. I believe it came out about Chunks, came out about Dave, Stormzy, Aya Jama. They've all had some racist tweets from when they were like in secondary school and when the world wasn't soft. So yeah, that's probably what he's referencing there. And yeah, that's pretty much the end of the diss track. Now, do I think Central C will respond to this? Probably not. I think he's going to focus on this album rollout for now. I think that Aitch has a lot more to gain from this beef than Central C does. Obviously, Central C is a global artist right now. So if he gets into a beef with Aitch, then that also puts Aitch on a global scale, because people are going to be wondering well, who's Aitch? Who's this guy that's dissing global artist Central C? So I'm sure his team are probably taking that into consideration when they're thinking about whether or not they should drop a response, because they probably don't want a beef with Aitch to overshadow the album rollout. Like, it's literally only the second day of the album being released. If they dropped a diss track today, it'd be like, well, nobody's listening to the album, they're just focusing on the back and forth. So I predict they'll probably let the album rollout go for about a week, 2 weeks, and then if they were going to respond, that is probably when they'd respond, like a week or 2 weeks later, when they've been able to ride the success, when the album's hit #1, or if can come back and be like, all right, cool, now we got the accolades, it's that time. Or if they're feeling real bossy, they might wait all the way until the Brit Awards, which is next month in February, and if Central C wins, then they can come back and say, all right, cool, now we got a Brit Award as well, now we're cooking you. If I was their team, that's what I would be doing. But I think that's the smartest decision. But I do think that Central C should respond for the culture. It might not necessarily be the smartest thing to do, but I do think that he should do it. Because let's say he does respond and he absolutely duppies him, then Central C will essentially be one of the undisputed champions of UK rap, more or less. The last thing I want him to do is take the Stormzy route and try and act like he's too big to respond and things of that nature. Because Aitch is not a little man, you know. He's a well-established UK rap figure. He's got the numbers, he's got the accolades, he's got the Brit Award, like, you know what I mean? Like, he's not a little fish. Like, on a global scale, he's a little fish, but at least in the UK, he's probably I'd say he's kind of a heavyweight in the UK rap scene, essentially. So you gotta give props to your opponent. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Obviously, don't forget, I will be dropping a full Can't Rush Greatness album review over the next couple of days, so keep a lookout for that. But yeah, in the words of Heady One,
it's a bit of a sticky one still.
But let me know what you think about this in the comment section down below. What do you think about this whole beef between Central C and Aitch? What do you think about Central C's initial statement in this song? Like, do you think he was dissing him, or do you think it was just like a name call out? To be honest, me personally, I think Central C's team knew exactly what they were doing. They knew exactly what kind of controversy this would cause in the lead up to the album. I think this was all very planned and very orchestrated. I've also heard that some people saying that these two are on the same label, or there's label connection, so that this all could be completely orchestrated. They don't even believe that Aitch wrote this within 24 hours. They think that Aitch had this in the tuck, ready to drop as soon as this album came out, which, I don't know, that just sounds a bit crazy. Central C, of course, even did respond to this whole thing and put, fair enough, like, so, but then again, you don't know if that's actually how Central C feels or if it's orchestrated. So it's all up in the air right now. We'll just have to see what happens and see how the situation progresses. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We're on the road to 3,000 subs. You know what time you should follow my personal IG at theonlylitt. If you care about what I do, I'm not making these bangers for you. I post updates on Twitter as well, so you might as well follow me on there. What else are you doing for life? Absolutely nothing, mate. I bet. Peace.
Oh, you ain't know I could sing.